No, Misty May and Carrie Walsh, the number 1 seeded team in the tournament, and they are taking on the 17th seeded squad of Julie Romias from Manhattan Beach, California, and Lisa Rutledge.
And not only are they the number 1 seed in this tournament, but number 1 seed going into the Olympics, number 1 team in the world, and they have been on an absolute roll in 2008.
May and Walsh have won 14 straight tournaments,
going to match their all-time record of 15 victories in a row. A lot of people were wondering, Carrie Walsh had shoulder surgery last November, how she'd come back. It was a tough time. Nobody would really want to do that going into the Olympic year when maybe they'd be able to defend their title and want to be at full strength, but they have been absolutely blowing their competition away.
So Carrie Walsh listed at 6'2 1/4". She's just about as tall. Actually, she's a little bit taller than Karch Garai, if you're wondering. Julie Romias, former UCLA Bruin, is on the right side for the opposition. And her partner, Lisa Rutledge, is on the left. And that's something that you don't see very often. Rutledge getting up high. Nice play.
And she really had to her advantage here a bit of a blind shot there by Walsh. Couldn't see her even coming up to the net to block. Sneaks in there and takes her line away.
First block of the first set for Rutledge. Romias, a former UCLA star. Lisa Rutledge played her college ball at Arizona.
And that's another big question this year is, do you serve Carrie Walsh coming off shoulder surgery, or do you serve Misty May, who's also probably the strongest she's ever been after working out so hard this offseason?
Nice up. Here comes Walsh, and she taps it down. Carrie Walsh and Misty May have been incredible. They've won 92 of the last 128 tournaments they've entered.
And they have actually been blowing teams away internationally even more so than on the American tour. So they've got a complete mental advantage against all the great teams from China, Brazil, and elsewhere going into the Olympics. Perfect timing for May Walsh.
Beautiful put away by Rutledge. So the round of 16, Misty.
The Olympics come to WPXI August 8th. We're proud to be your Olympic station.
AVP Boulder Open presented by Bud Light. This is round of 16 action. Carrie Walsh and Misty May, the number 1 seeded team and the number 1 team in the world, playing Julie Romias and Lisa Rutledge, the 17th seeded team in this tournament. Oh, beautiful up. And May will shovel it over. This is Rutledge. And Rutledge takes a rip. May goes and gets it. 13-9, May Walsh, and the put away.
Boy, nice fighting by Romias and Rutledge, though. It's just that at the end of the rally, Walsh finally gets an easy play, not a broken one, wide open on the angle, crushes it down that angle, and shows how strong her shoulder is coming back from that surgery.
Walsh and May, perhaps the most dominant team in beach volleyball history. We'll talk more about that as the summer rolls
Perhaps.
on.
I think for sure the only team that's ever won 14 in a row and 15 in a row, maybe 15 in a row this weekend to tie that, is the team of May Walsh.
Well, certainly they're the greatest women's team of all time. The question now, would they be considered a greater team than Smith-Stoklos, who won 114 tournaments together, or Karch Garai and Kent Steffes, who won 76 together?
I think so, because Misty May on the verge of winning her 99th tournament this weekend. I don't think any player has gotten to that number, to 99 or 100 faster, and almost all of those are together. This team should easily eclipse the win record of Smith-Stoklos.
So Lisa Rutledge putting on a show. She has 6 kills. Rutledge is 26 years old, stands 6'2". And down the line. Good shot. Oh, nice save out of the net. And May with a kill. Of course, Misty May grew up in a volleyball family. Her dad, the great Butch May, who played on the 1968 Olympic team. Her mother, Barbara, was a very fine beach player. It's a big advantage. You had that with your dad, who taught you how to play volleyball early and get those fundamentals down, Karachi.
Well, not only do you get the fundamentals down, but you get an instinct for the game. And I don't think anybody in beach volleyball has a better instinct for the game than Misty May. Anything that gets by that Kerry Walsh block, she's going to get a hand on it.
Over the top. May with the tapper. And now Kerry Walsh staying on the ground. They're serving Romias. Of course, Julie Romias, the former Julie Bremner, when she played at UCLA. She's now 38 years old, and she's now working at Kaiser Permanente as a doctor in Inglewood. So she is made good. Had a terrific volleyball career, and now...
Of course, her partner, an academic All-American at Arizona. This may be the smartest team on tour.
Good point. Good point. One of the most accomplished teams on tour. And right now, doing a pretty good job against Misty May and Kerry Walsh.
I think a very commendable job. Teams like some of the best in the world from China and Brazil have been struggling to even get 14 points against this May Walsh team. And Romias and Rutledge are already there.
Now here's Rutledge. And Misty's got it. Nice up. Rutledge takes a whack. Walsh tapping. Romias has got it. Romias on the net. Nobody there. May goes and gets it. Misty chopping. She missed it.
What a rally. And Romias and Rutledge doing a good job of keeping the ball in play. Sometimes teams against a great team like May Walsh try to do too much and figure they've got to make the perfect play. They made a lot of good ones in that rally.
Misty May and Kerry Walsh have not lost this season on the AVP Tour. Walsh with the block there. In fact, their last loss was August 19, 2007. You might remember it. You saw it here on NBC to Brandon Young's in Boston, 16-14 in the third.
And lately, not only are they not losing matches, they're not even losing sets, just blazing through both the AVP and international teams.
Pretty good.
The Olympic Trials All-American Weekend on NBC.
Inside Folsom Field. It's the football home of the Colorado Buffaloes. The first time an AVP event has ever been inside a football stadium. It's hot. And this is quarterfinal action in the women's division. Men's competition ending a little bit earlier. And you're watching the best team in the world and maybe the best team of all time, Misty May and Kerry Walsh.
And Walsh getting ready to go back to serve there. I think Walsh has benefited from having to rehab that shoulder. She's perfected her shots, her finesse game, and then when she gets the strength back, she now has a better finesse game and a really strong power game. Tough combination.
So Walsh and May leading 20-15. They'll have their first set point. How's Walsh as a server?
Well, she's been taking, her shoulder has been bothering her so long. Really, she said she's been in constant pain since Athens, that she hasn't done a lot of jump serving, hasn't had a pain-free shoulder to do it. Now she may get to start thinking about powering that serve more.
All right, May Walsh win the first set. We're going to continue.
The superior drinkability, however, remains. Bud Light keeps it coming.
Beautiful Boulder, Colorado. The AVP Crocs Tour continuing. Boulder Open presented, of course, by Bud Light. You look at the numbers, Karch, and Romias and Rutledge hanging in.
Hey, anytime you match Misty May, Trainer, and Kerry Walsh on digs, or almost as they did there, you've accomplished a major feat.
What I like about Romias and Rutledge, they're playing without fear. They're playing hard, and they are in a battle. Romias has got the dig, and that ball popped over the net. So often you see teams playing against top-seeded teams just roll over and die.
Or try too hard thinking they have to make the perfect play on every single point opportunity.
First set going to May Walsh, 21-15. This is the start of the second set. If you tune in looking for men's competition, over early, Steinmetzger and Mark Williams blowing out Anthony Medell and Fred Souza 2-0. So bonus coverage from the women's division. Of course, the women's final, you'll see that live on NBC tomorrow. And, of course, we're expecting Mae Walsh to be in there. Another good play by Romias and Rutledge. That shot's just too good. Nobody in the world can get that dig.
Well, Romias made a great effort on the first one coming up with it. But the second one, even more smartly and accurately placed there, right on the line. Nothing Romias can do. Romias, a doctor, 4 days a week, got to take a day off just so that she can play, trying to work her way into the main draws of a lot of these AVP events, playing qualifiers for the last several years.
Over the top. Nice up, Walsh. And a dig back by Rutledge. And Rutledge puts it away.
Wow.
Whoa. Lisa Rutledge.
And finishing it with a nice turn. There's a saying in beach volleyball, in a fiddle, hit deep middle. And at the end of that one, she makes a wonderful play there.
She's got some pop, though. She gets the dig.
First the dig, and then the deep middle for the point.
Best finish in the United States for Rutledge, 9th. So I think she'll get that this weekend. They keep playing like this.
Yeah, already in this single elimination tournament, already guaranteed a 9th.
Yeah. So in essence, they would be guaranteed the 9th. Of course, they'd have to win this match to finish a little bit higher.
And improve on her career finish.
Yep, 3-2 our score. And Walsh, she's been doing a lot of swing blocking, Karch, and you might explain that.
Well, what that means is actually swinging your arms up as you jump. Many blockers don't use their arms to jump at all. Walsh has been working on that with their new coach as of the beginning of the 2007 season, Troy Tanner, to try to get her some extra height, allow her to dominate at the net more.
Serve into the net.
Boy, that's a second one for Misty May. A little surprising. They are a very conservative serving team. Just try to keep the ball in because they have the great Kerry Walsh block and the great defense of Misty May behind. So they're one of the weakest serving teams on the tour, on the AVP tour and internationally, but that doesn't hurt them in the least. They got the little Karchy candy cane serve there. Yep. And it works just fine. Keeping it in.
And a big smack. So the team of Romias and Rutledge gets another point. 5-4. Of course, Misty May married to Matt Trainer, a catcher for the Florida Marlins. Told he's in the house today. We're in Colorado.
A rare opportunity for him to see his wife in action, and because he plays baseball through the summer, he will not get to go to Beijing and cheer Misty on.
Nice shot by Julie Romias. Romias set the UCLA Bruins to the national title back in 1991. I remember that great team with Natalie Williams, Elaine Youngs, who we see out on the tour, and Annette Buckner-Davis, who's on tour also. That was a team that was loaded up.
And it was just today that Elaine Youngs and her partner Nicole Branna locked up the second American women's Olympic berth by having a very strong tournament in Moscow.
So the Olympic teams are set. Mae Walsh, the #1 American team, and Nicole Branna and Elaine Youngs will be the second American women's team. That is a strong group of teams. As the cut shot works, maybe the strongest group of American women's teams that the United States has ever sent.
I think so, absolutely. Branna and Youngs have been in the top 4 of all the tournaments they've played overseas over half the time. So there's a better than 50% chance that they should be in the semifinals in Beijing.
Misty already with 8 kills. And Romias.
Nice shot by Romias. When you can get the ball down on the other side of the court without May or Walsh touching it, you've done your job well.
Now Romias and Rutledge, a chance to take the lead here. They've scored 4 out of the last 5 points. They'll serve Misty. Dug up for the lead right here. And got it. So a 7-6 lead now for the 17th seeded team here in Boulder. Julie Romias and Lisa Rutledge.
Against the best team ever. Nicely done.
So you're anointing them the best team ever, men or women?
I am at this time, especially if they repeat as Olympic champions, something no team's been able to do yet.
Bouncing it off the tape and in. So they switch sides, 7-7. How much of a side advantage do you think there is here in Boulder, Karch? I know it's hot on both sides.
It's just nice and toasty. That's what beach volleyball is all about. But inside the stadium, there's really no wind advantage. It's very even, and there's one of the few times on tour where there's really no side advantage whatsoever. Well, that
Carrie Walsh continues.
That lead was short-lived.
Carrie Walsh, she's 29. She'll turn 30 in August. She's married to men's pro player Casey Jennings, who's over in Europe and just finished his tournament in Moscow. I was told by, I think it was Stein Metzger, that they still had a mathematical chance this weekend,
but they
try
are
to run down. Now they're out.
By losing earlier today, they lost their chance as a very distant third, still mathematically alive until they lost.
So only 2 teams per country. I don't think China, the host country, doesn't get 3, do they?
No.
They get 2. 2 per team.
At
per
most,
country?
At most 2 per country. A total bracket of 24 teams. If they were ever able to expand it to 32, I would imagine that they would allow up to 3 teams instead of 2 per country.
Oh, Lisa Rutledge. Big, strong, physical. The ball tapped over the top. This is the second set. Megan Walsh won the first set, 21-15.
And Rutledge actually the same height, just as tall as Carrie Walsh is, but the height really doesn't matter when you have players like Megan Walsh on the other side of the net. So effective offensively. No blocker seems to bother them. May coming up that time with a nice finesse shot. That's something that has probably been the biggest focus of her dad in the many years they spent together playing and learning the game growing up. Was he said you always have to be able to put the ball exactly where you want to on the court. Got to have shots that you can resort to.
Another point for May and Walsh. You had talked about the dominance of May and Walsh, Karch, internationally. They have won 62 straight international matches and 75 of the last 76 since the end of 2006. Their only loss was to the Chinese team.
Well, their all-time win streak was 89 matches in a row. They're close to repeating that. Probably by next weekend they can match that.
Nice up out of the net. Misty with a dig.
And there's that finesse game. She can always put that ball exactly where she wants to. Got the best vision of anybody in women's volleyball.
(12-8) now. So Romias and Rutledge led at 7-6. A 4-0 run fueling May Walsh. Then down the line, big hit. So we're going to step aside for a moment. Misty May and Carrie Walsh, you know what they're looking like, Karch? Gold medalists. They lead $1,000. There's Matt Trainer, Misty May's husband, Florida Marlins catcher, hit a home run last night in that 18-17 defeat. The Rockies beating the Marlins. What a comeback that was for the Colorado Rockies. They were down by 9 runs at one point and rallied.
And Misty May a little disappointed because tomorrow the Marlins have a day game, so he can't come watch their final here about 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Here's Misty. And Misty hammers it. What do you like most about Misty May's game?
What's not to like? I mean, she's got it all. Every tool that imaginable. Complete ball control, great defense. and just the best instincts in the game, the best court sense in the game.
And Walsh blocking at the net.
That was one of the things last season, until Walsh's shoulder really started bothering her. They were putting on the most amazing scoring performance between her block and May's defense. But they lost a little of that as the pain grew in Walsh's shoulder. Now she's getting back strong again after that surgery. So they're looking forward to putting on a big blocking and defensive performance in Beijing.
So after Julie Romias and Lisa Rutledge assumed a 7-6 lead, since then it's been all May Walsh.
I think they woke up
they got a little mad at that.
Giants.
Don't like to see that. We're behind. And Romias takes a rip. And just wide. No, just wide. Now a 7-1 scoring run for May Walsh.
And that's what being a big blocker will do for you. Teams try so hard to avoid it that they will often make the error, give up the easy point, and really the credit should go to the dominant blocker at the net when those plays happen.
Oh, I like this Rutledge. You know, you put her, and I'm not, no slight to Romias, she's 38 years old, she's a doctor, but you put her with one of the top players on the AVP Women's Tour, and I think she's in the top 4.
She's
like a high
years old, got a lot of career ahead.
Yeah,
we see other players like Holly McPeak, Diane Denekashe out here playing well into the 30s and 40s.
Little cut shot by Misty May, and that is successful. May always wears the headband, and her partner Walsh with a little cap or visor.
She likes to wear pink so that she's a little more feminine out there.
Is that right?
Pink in the visor because she's 6'2", and sometimes it's hard to be thought of in that light when you're that tall.
If you don't buy Crocs, I would turn you into a spider.
Back on the beach in Boulder, Colorado, the Boulder Open presented by Bud Light. Chris Marlowe, Karch Garai, Heather Cox, Mike Dodd on hand. We've got a great four-person announcing crew. Karch, you said that Kerri Walsh likes to wear pink. You wore a pink hat for over 20 years. Was that to get in touch with your feminine side?
No, it was not. It started as a superstition. Kent Steffes and I got on a roll, won about 4 or 5 tournaments together. Then it became a tradition, and finally it became my curse. I had to stick with it to the end.
Right. Misty May and Kerri Walsh doing what they're known for. Big rally, great up. Wow. And that's a play, Karch, that you can only make if you're going to the left sideline, use your left arm. You got that.
You have to use your left hand, and you can see here all the top defensive players are totally ambidextrous, can make great plays to their left with the left hand, to their right with the right.
Rutledge tapping over the top, and that's a point. So the women's draw continuing. Misty May and Kerri Walsh. The top group, Moore and Stonebarger, Akers McPeak, Denekashe Fontana, all in the round of 16. And now it is 20-12 in the second set. So the first match point coming up for Misty May and Kerri Walsh. They'll try Rutledge. And Rutledge is dug. Misty for the win. Not yet. Dig back. Was that ball down? Apparently not. May, no.
Well, we were just talking about going to the left, using your left hand. That time, Misty May going to the right, using her right. From here, it almost looked like it did hit the sand. That's what a great play she made there, but couldn't put it away. Match point number 2. Now coming up.
Crowd up. Starting the rhythmic clap. May and Walsh focused as they try to put this one away. 20-13 for the match. Misty. High line. Got it. Call high line. There's a high loopy into the center of the court. And May and Walsh win again. Romea and Walsh, some anxious moments early cards, but showing their domination.
Down 7-6 and turning on the afterburners.
All right, Misty May and Kerry Walsh win again. When we come back, we'll have